Things have just taken a major turn for the Boston Bruins as this game has revealed the main problem that this team currently possesses here in this recent game against the New York Rangers. We're going to be talking about that as well as everything in the game, which really caused a major turning point for the Boston Bruins going forward. Before we get into all of this news, however, we know that 70% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. We're on the road to 6K, and your sport's been absolutely incredible lately. So if you're looking for all your Boston Bruins news, you're in the right spot. Hit the sub button, join us here on the channel, covering everything Boston Bruins. But without any further ado, let's get into this game, covering this video, starting out here with our first little screenshot of the hockey stat card. Now, you see a lot of positive on this one, which is very good. You know, when you're looking at the overall stats of this game, shots and everything, you wouldn't really say that there was anybody playing. And for the first 40 minutes of this game, and when you're looking at it, going 50 minutes, having, whatever it was, 12, 15 shots on net, it is completely unacceptable. The chances that the Bruins had, there were some quality ones in there, including the goal from David Pastrnak, and 16 seconds later, the goal from Elias Lindholm. Now, when you're scoring your only goals of the game within 16 seconds, realistically, you should be winning these games, 10 to whatever the score would be normally. But the way that this team played this game, there was really no drive at all from the Bruins in the first 20 minutes. Middle 40 wasn't horrible. The Bruins got their 2 goals and then kind of got a bit of momentum boost there. Third period, once again, after that shorthanded goal, which may be a hint of what you think the biggest issue may be here with this team. The momentum just absolutely got drained from the Boston Bruins until about the last minute of the game with the empty net, and ultimately losing the game for this team. But the usual suspects, I guess we can call them at the top of this stat here. The Pavel Zacha, your Nikita Zadorov, is a guy who had a great game tonight, was all over the ice, playing the puck, playing the body, exactly what we want to see out of him. David Pastrnak, Elias Lindholm, Mason Lohrei, Brad Marchand, and Charlie McAvoy, and also Morgan Geekie as well, finishing out that top line. But the rest of it there, a very big negative. We see Brandon Carlo near the bottom. They're continuing to struggle this season. And it's going to be curious to see what happens with him when we do see Hampus Lindholm back with this club, back with the roster after the Four Nations Cup. Depending on if or not we see Brandon Carlo traded at any point, that will be the biggest question, I believe, going forward with this team. And really what's going to happen here, because when you lose to a team like the New York Rangers, who are fighting for this wild card spot as well, move 2 points on you, this is a game that you want to win, especially the game where you're going to see them, maybe a few more times. I can't remember the exact schedule, but when you're looking at playing them now, you're going to have to look at playing them again, potentially in the playoffs and whatnot. And it really does come down to needing to win these types of games, teams where you have to fight against them get into the playoffs. And this is the perfect example of that game. But when we do look at the box score as well, kind of to mention as well, the usual suspects, David Pastrnak, Elias Lindholm, Brad Marchand, Pavel Zacha, the guys that are really just putting everything in every game and getting the team to where they are right now, getting the team to the scatter win they get, the few points, the few goals they get. David Pastrnak continuing to be electric here on the ice, but overall really not too much to show from the box score and kind of put into comparison with the game. But when we do look at the game stats as a whole, comparing these two teams, a 22 shot to 17 in the game is not usually what we see anymore. And they're really going to show how many players were absent in this game. We did see, for the first period, be nobody playing at all. Second period was Bruins. Third was the Rangers. But when you're looking at the hit comparison as well, New York really brought some physicality tonight. I found that, to me at least, is very evident on the broadcast. We see a lot of these guys coming in. Bruins, they're collapsing in the Bruins when they puck's in the corner, and ultimately the puck gets turned over, goes the other way, and that's where we've seen the goal coming from Chris Kreider on that shorthanded one. A bobble in front of the net from Morgan Geekie. Wide open net would have been if he actually did get the opportunity to get that puck off. But when you're looking at games like this, ultimately, you're going to have them, but it's been too consistent for the Bruins this year to have these types of games. It really needs to, get cleaned up. And a big part of that has been the special teams. I was going to say the power play, but the power play and shorthanded both have been issues for this team. And we're looking at Michael Sullivan here, another one kind of that goes hand in hand with what the biggest issue of the special teams has been. 12 shots through 50 minutes of the game for the Bruins. Somehow this game is tied 1-1, but 11 shots is not going to get it done. And, nobody could have said it better. This is exactly what fans have been thinking of. What we've been looking at for this Bruins team is that when you're going out here getting 12 shots with 10 minutes left in the game, you're being up in this game at that point. You can't play a game and expect to win like that. And it's been the moral of the story for the Bruins this season is, getting these types of games, feeling like you're missing out on a bunch. And of course there are not every game, but in a lot of these games, you're going to have things that don't go your way, especially where Brad Marchand gets pushed into the goalie and then gets the penalty for that and gets his helmet ripped off. Should have been 4-on-4 in that case, or even a power play for the Bruins, but, you can't complain about that every single game. You can only go so much, and, it wouldn't help the Bruins regardless of whatever happens. But the special teams, the penalty kill, the power play, nothing has been good for the Bruins except for 5-on-5 for the most part. And heading this game, I believe what the broadcast shows that the Bruins are 16-0-4 heading into games or heading into third periods when they're winning. So, first regular season loss of this with that, but, it happens the way it happens. And I hate to say it, that's the way it happens, but simply put it, there's nothing that we can change from a standpoint of sitting home and watching it. But the special teams, as I should get into that right now. This was a very big issue for this one, and I got a tweet here from Ty Anderson. The 8th shorthanded goal given up by the Bruins this season, moving them into a tie for most in the NHL. 4th worst power play net goal differential on the man advantage at plus 17, and that was 3-2 Rangers off that one. And when you see Chris Kreider beat 3 Bruins defenders getting back to that play and ultimately scoring from an angle that really should never see a goal go in, these are where you're going to have issues in these games. A 2-2 game at that point, the Bruins were still in it, and when you come into this, get a shorthanded goal against, or, well, I guess a power play goal against, or you know what I'm trying to say. When they're on the power play goal against, it is not what you need to get these wins. You need to have a team that will be able to score on the power play regardless. One thing of that, we can be changing up the power play. We haven't seen too many changes with that at all. So a few names we'll get to in here in a moment that do need to be on the power play and especially need to kind of be moved up in the power play. And we need to see more action, more shooting. What we've been seeing all season has been a lot of puck moving, a lot of turnovers, a very, very unstructured power play. And that also translates to the defense on the shorthanded, when you're on a penalty kill. Things have not been going the Bruins' way, but you can't blame this one on just sheer luck. You have to blame the power play, the penalty kill on coaching. You can have a bad power play now and then. Normally you'd have a decent one, maybe a bad, sometimes a good. But when you have consistently bad special teams, there has to be a trend where this issue is very, very evident. And the guy that we need to see kind of moved up here from Mike Grinnell, of course, is Mason Lohrei. The reaction to this has been insanely positive over the past few weeks. We've been seeing Mason Lohrei needing to go to power play 1. This is just a tweet that I've seen here in this game. I chose to choose this one, but every single video that I make post games, I can find a tweet someone saying that Mason Lohrei needs to go on power play 1, and it's time for this to happen. You have the bad bounces, you have the good bounces, and there was obviously one that was very, very close to going in that went off the dashboards in between Shesterkin's legs, nearly potted it in the empty net, but ultimately didn't get that one. Those are the bounces that you want going your way, but when you're giving up a shorthanded goal on that one and ultimately one that shouldn't go in, beating 3-man Chris Kreider, getting that one, those are the games you're going to lose. Those are the games you need to win. So let me know what you think about this game. Obviously, it's nothing the way the Bruins wanted to go, and there are going to be changes made, and I'm going to have another video tomorrow coming about some stuff that Don Sweeney had said on the broadcast, being interviewed, and really going over what he had said, first of all, about the Bruins and kind of what their plan is going forward. So let me know what you think about this game. Let me know what you think about the results here of it and what the big issue is on the power play. Let me know what you think that would fix it. And yeah, it's the Bruins season. That's the only thing I can really say, but that's all I got for this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well, but I'm signing out. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.